In June 1947, RADIO operators across the Straits of Malacca picked up a distress call that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. The message was broken, panicked, and ended with a sentence that has never been explained. The signal read, "All officers, including captain, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge." Possibly whole crew dead. There was a flurry of indecipherable dots and dashes, followed by one final, chilling phrase, "I die." When rescuers finally located the Dutch freighter SS Orang Medan, they found a ship that looked perfectly intact, but as they stepped onto the deck, they realized they had entered a morgue. The entire crew was dead. Their bodies were scattered across the decks, their eyes wide open, their arms reaching out toward something invisible, and their faces frozen in expressions of absolute, agonizing terror. But there were no wounds, no blood, no signs of a struggle. And then the ship began to smoke. The mystery of the Orang Medan is one of the most terrifying and baffling maritime legends of all time. It's a story that blurs the line between a tragic accident and a full-blown paranormal event. When the crew of the American merchant ship, the Silver Star, boarded the Orang Medan, what they found was a scene straight out of a nightmare. The rescue crew reported that even the ship's dog, a small terrier, was found dead, frozen in a mid-snarl at an empty corner of the room. Every single person on board was in the same state, dead, but with no visible cause of death. Their teeth were bared, their faces contorted as if they had witnessed something indescribably horrifying in their final moments. What made the scene even more bizarre was the temperature, despite being in the sweltering heat of the South Pacific. The rescuers reported a disturbing chill emanating from the ship's lower decks, a cold so intense it was unnatural. As they began to rig a line to tow the vessel to port, smoke started billowing from the cargo hold. The rescue party had to act fast, scrambling back to their own ship. They barely escaped before the Orang Medan exploded with such force that it lifted out of the water, broke in two, and sank to the bottom of the ocean, taking all its secrets and all the evidence with it. So what happened on that ship? For decades, the story was dismissed as a sailor's tall tale. Many skeptics claimed the ship never even existed, pointing to a lack of official records in major shipping registries like Lloyd's of London. But the absence of evidence isn't necessarily evidence of absence. Researchers who dug deeper found records suggesting the ship was real, but its cargo was anything but ordinary. This leads us to the most popular scientific explanation, the secret cargo theory. According to this idea, the Orang Medan was not a simple freighter. It was smuggling a lethal, unofficial cargo. The manifest was fake. What it was really carrying was a deadly cocktail of chemical agents, possibly potassium cyanide and nitroglycerin left over from World War II. Think about it. If seawater had leaked into the cargo hold and mixed with these chemicals, it could have created a massive cloud of toxic gas. This gas would have spread through the ship in seconds, suffocating the crew instantly. The rapid asphyxiation would cause severe convulsions and muscular spasms. which could explain why the bodies were found in such contorted, terrified poses. It also provides a neat explanation for the explosion. Nitroglycerin is notoriously unstable, and when combined with the heat from a fire in the hold, it would have turned the entire ship into a floating bomb. This theory seems to tie everything up nicely. A smuggling operation gone wrong. A tragic accident covered up by the explosion. Case closed, right? Well, not exactly. The gas theory has some major holes. For one, it doesn't explain the extreme cold reported by the rescue crew. A chemical reaction like the one described would generate heat, not cold. And why were all the bodies pointing upwards, their arms outstretched towards the sky? If they were suffocating from a gas leaking from below, wouldn't they be trying to get away or collapsed on the floor? Their strange posture suggests they were looking at something above them. This is where the story takes a turn into the truly strange, moving from a simple maritime disaster to something paranormal. Some believe the ship encountered something not of this world. It's worth noting that in the late 1940s, right after World War II, UFO sightings were at an all-time peak, especially in the Pacific Theater. Could the crew of the Orang Medan have witnessed something in the sky so terrifying that the shock alone killed them? Was the ID message not a report of a physical ailment, but the last words of a man who had seen something so horrific he couldn't even describe it? Then there's the possibility of a government cover-up. The story gets even more suspicious when you look at the official reaction, or rather, the lack of one. Documents declassified decades later revealed that the CIA had files on the Orang Medan incident. Yet, for years, official maritime registers in several countries claimed the ship was never built, that it was a phantom. Why would intelligence agencies be interested in a simple freighter? And why the coordinated effort to erase it from history? This has led to the theory that the Orang Medan was a ghost ship in a different sense. Perhaps it was an unregistered vessel used by intelligence agencies to transport illegal weapons or conduct secret experiments. If something went horribly wrong, the easiest solution would be to let the ship sink and wipe its existence from all official records, burying the truth at the bottom of the sea. This would explain the lack of paperwork and the official silence surrounding the incident. The ship never existed because, officially, it wasn't supposed to. Today, the Orang Medan lies somewhere in the deep, dark waters of the Straits of Malacca. No one has ever mounted a serious expedition to find the wreckage. It's too deep, the area too vast, and perhaps some secrets are better left undisturbed. The ship remains a legend of the seer-chilling ghost story told by sailors, a cautionary tale about the dangers that lurk in the ocean's depths. It's a warning of what happens when a crew encounters a terror they cannot fight and a secret they cannot keep. The truth of the Orang Medan, whether it was a chemical leak, an otherworldly encounter, or a Cold War conspiracy, went down with the ship. All that's left is the story and the final, haunting message from a lone radio operator floating through the static. I die. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the unexplained mysteries of the ocean, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unknown.